unstoppable. Utah unable to contain him much and putting him at the line.
Yeah, but they've got to, as a team, they really have to pick up their communications defensively and trying to make sure they're all on the same page.
Again, they're in Orlando, Lake Buena Vista. We are in Los Angeles, and Joe Ingles starts the second half for Utah, and we're knotted up at 58. McGee, Davis, LeBron, Green, and KCP, the starters in there for the Lakers.
Very surprised. First possession, they decided to
rested the Jazz in really a battle at Staples Center. Then they blew them out, did the Lakers. They won 127-96 in Utah in December. And here we are, the final meeting of the year. Lakers have already clinched the season series for the first time in many years. Outside, Royce O'Neal. Again, Mike was talking about the three ball. They're the second best. Shoot the three in the league, and that's where they can really take advantage. 3-point game. Ingles, little pump fake. Corner.
Look at all these open looks.
Wide open. Lakers need a timeout. Seeing the start of quarters, 3 out of the last 4 quarters now that we've seen, Lakers are just getting steamrolled early on. Here it happened again to start this third quarter.
These slow starts, you can't continually dig yourself out of deficits and expect to be successful.
Danny Green fires it up, and it's not going to settle in. Rebound to Gobert. You were just telling me during the break how much they're missing Avery Bradley, which is an obvious point, isn't it?
I mean, when you've got your first line of defense and your point guard is the guy that can help set the tempo defensively, if you're always getting beat in the paint or to the paint, it makes it hard on your overall team defense. That's where they drive. They get open, driving kicks and open looks.
LeBron finds the lane down the
basket just to protect the ball, and you're not as effective most of the time.
And when healthy this year, we saw Avery do that to perfection. Gobert gets in very deep and uses the window to score 2 at 66-60. Working 2.5 minutes into the third quarter. Lakers looking for their 51st win of the year and to clinch the conference. KCP works free, nothing but net.
Nice to see Kate start him and help fuel the Lakers.
And he took his headband off, so KCP, a little different look for him, obviously. Donovan Mitchell, here he goes again. High arc, good defense that time by McGee. It's just for each team. This Utah team was 500 right before the break, and they've been 500 so far here in Florida.
Now they've got Anthony Davis on the point guard.
Now they were
Conley.
And here's Conley going with the offhand, the right hand.
Kick.
O'Neal looking for another one. A rebound of KCP. I mentioned 500. They were 6-6 coming out of the All-Star break. They were playing great basketball earlier in the year. They had a 19-2 stretch at one point early on. Did Utah, everything was going right. Leaner for Danny, 2-time champion. 1-1 with San Antonio, won last year with Toronto. Gobert, look out. Inbound. Oh, Danny Green was right there.
Good thing he got a hand
pass.
on it.
Oh, and the bounce to KCP. Perfect opportunity to bounce it. And he wrote it up and in.
Best pass in basketball is that bounce pass. Tough one to defend. You can see what happened with a straight pass. When Gobert tried a straight pass, it hit JaVale in the face.
You can see the fast break points big time to the Lakers' way. That was one thing we talked about, dictating tempo. And running the break. Ingles, touch pass. Conley to beat the clock. So the Lakers, pretty good half-court defense that time. Forced a hurried shot.
Might force a timeout if they could scratch here.
And LeBron, the hippity-hop into the front court. JaVale back to the basket. JaVale goes to the move. And he gets stripped by Ingles. Loose basketball, Gobert. Royce O'Neal, the shovel pass. Now Conley, corner.
That basket, and he was hesitant on all of his shots. No more.
Shooting under 40% before the All-Star break. Well over 40% afterwards. AD, little fall back. In fact, Conley was the 4th pick back in 2007. Who was picked ahead of him? Greg Oden, Kevin Durant, and Al Horford. And then he was number 4. That's going to be tough to get for Gobert. He's got to go down. It's an understatement. 1 for 8 and 0 for 6 from downtown
but
in his 10 minutes.
He's got a very short memory, so it won't stop him.
Always did, right?
Yeah, you can't have a long memory in basketball if you want to be successful as the Lakers. That they're trying to fill with that extra guard either coming in off the bench or as a starter.
Lob underneath to Gobert, just over the ice. The Jazz, well done. Waiters, Davis, now the handoff to Caruso. Alex confronts Gobert, now AD with 10 to shoot. Goes into the lane, left hand, off the glass, that is pretty spotty. AD 24-7 and 3. Rebound to McGee. JaVale's going to leave it to the right side. Dion Waiters. Bubble cheese. No ball security, and he the last few months to get himself in some good shape. Kuzma into the game for the Lakers. Lakers down by 2. AD's right there to smother it. Green ahead of the pack. Who's going to get it? That's poked out of bounds by Utah. There were 3 Lakers in Los Angeles, so if we misidentify a play or two, we certainly apologize. Here is Caruso. Staff. Doesn't mean it's better or worse. It's just normally you have at least a player or two. It seems Lakers certainly do. And that floater is good.
Danny Green, that's the second basket. He's put it on the deck and gotten into the paint and scored. Now tonight he's 4 out of 6 from the field.
After being 0 for 7, Dion got in front of that one. But we've got a whistle at midcourt. There's a wide margin to the Lakers the other night. Dion off the rim. Ingles, the Iron Man, with control of it. 6th year in the league, as you mentioned, a huge X factor for them.
Yeah, I really think he's their X factor. You know what you're going to get from Donovan Mitchell, especially without Bogdanovich,
who is out with the wrist injury. They're going to pick up the slack in the scoring. Danny Green, another one. Not this time. Hit the heel. He battles inside. Gobert comes up with it. Rudy Gobert has his 8th board of the night. George Niang with control of it. Spells his first name with an S on the end, but it is silent. And again, the Lakers take it. That's turnover number 15. Waiters with Niang. Night. Free throws for Dion Waiters. And while we have a moment, let's pause for a quick word. Points off of turnovers tonight. Lakers with an advantage there. 19-10. Been a little sloppy game for Utah. Lakers back out on top. We've been tied 11 times in the contest. And the Lakers shooting many more free throws. Donovan Mitchell certainly keeping them single-handedly in the game.
Jordan Clarkson missed Rudy Gobert. If he catches and throws out, Gobert has a dunk.
Well, you know, when it's time with the Lakers, Clarkson is 1 for his last 14 from beyond the arc. He was 1 for 8 the other night against OKC. He's 0 for 6 tonight. Laker lead is 2. We're in the 3rd quarter with the time winding down, and the shot clock is at 4, so LeBron's going to take the mid-range, hit a part of the board taken by Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell on the weak side.
That's only LeBron's 7th attempt tonight. He's made 4 out of 7.
Yeah, in facilitator mode for the most part.
Where he wants to be anyhow.
Oh, look at Waiters just staying with it and picking the pocket. Waiters lob, Caruso can't score, tipped up and in by LeBron.
In the same lane.
Alex has certainly thrown down some Caruso dunks this year. Credit to Philly Cheese that time for the steal, and the Lakers in double digits in that department. Oh, that ball's kicked out of bounds. Biggest lead for Utah was 7, and that was literally right at the start of the game. LeBron holding on to it. Now will turn with Royce O'Neal in his face. Kuzma turn, shot, quick, no. And O'Neal with the rebound. Went to both the Denver University and Baylor. Playing some college basketball in his 3rd year. Conley, back out Clarkson. Just cannot find the range.
And the Lakers are saying, keep shooting it.
Overall, he's 1 for 10. Davis, yes.
50%, 29 points on 20 shots, so becoming more and more efficient as the game progresses.
Biggest lead of the game for the purple and gold, wearing their Sunday whites on this Monday night basket.
I think he did, because he's the guy that was going to be shooting free throws to begin with.
All the time.
Normally, it's the guy that's going to be shooting the free throws if he's a good free throw shooter. Shoots the technical, then it was did it.
AD looking for 2 in a row, and that one settles through. Biggest lead, first time either team's been in double digits, and 31 more for AD. Remember, he had 34 against the Clippers a couple of games ago. His season high, 50 against Minnesota. Leaning in and scoring.
Really picked up his offense since he came into the league. When he came into the league as a rookie, you almost wanted him shooting the ball. Boy, wow.
They do. 16-2. So Moutier scores at one end. And Waiters answers back. We have less than a minute to go in the third. 3 points off of turnovers. One thing Utah does, they don't turn over the opposition very often. Lakers certainly do. AD! Distance! Nothing but net. And the Lakers pulling away late here in the third. Up now by 13. Clarkson with Kuzma right on his hip. He can't even get the layup to go tonight. As Kuzma was right there defensively.
When it's going bad, it's going bad.
Oh, yeah.
Good play.
What do we got, Stu? 1 second, about a second and a half separating shot clock and game. So the Lakers will wind it down. Oh, Raiders.
Way too
feeling it. Yeah, he had time. With one, that'll count if it goes.